This week you're going to be doing oblique drawings on this object here. And obliques are unique. You may remember doing the sketch in a print reading class in that you have a front view and then everything recedes back at a 45-degree angle from the front view. And within Inventor here, I can't force it to make an oblique view to demonstrate that. But and you'll see when we go to the drawing board, we lay out everything on a front view, because that's where all our dimensions are. And then we project back at a 45-degree angle. So you have to keep in mind that we have surface planes that we work from, and this being the front of the object, I would call that the front plane, the front plane. And then we have the second plane here that is a certain distance back. And then we have the rear of the object, or the rear plane. And when we go to locate and draw these features, we have to project back the distance that we're going to draw them at. And it's important that you remember that we've got, in this particular drawing, we've got 3 different surface planes that we're dealing with. Okay, and the example in the textbook is pretty much exactly what it should look like when you get finished drawing. So we're going to do 2 drawings. We're going to do a standard oblique, or what's known as a cavalier oblique, which is full depth, and then we're going to do a cabinet oblique, which is half depth. Which looks a bit more realistic. But I wanted to show you the object in Inventor so that you have an understanding of these different planes and how important they're going to be in what we're doing. Okay, so in drawing the oblique for this, you're going to get an 11 by 17 sheet. Yours will have a title block and a border, divided in half. Okay, so we're going to do 2 drawings on the same sheet, and then just like we do with the isometric, find the center of your drawing space with the diagonals. Now this object is symmetrical, top to bottom, left to right. So to center it, all we have to do is go from the center of our drawing space, come down to the left at a 45-degree angle, and go half of the depth of the object. And so the depth on this is 33. And so I'm going to come down like 16 and a half. Put me a little mark. That will be the center of my large circle on the front plane. So kind of erase those little things out. I'm going to draw me a center line across and a pretty big center line up, and then kind of clean out that 45-degree line that I had in there. All right, now from there I can draw my my big circle, which is a diameter of 64 millimeters. Let's see, I've got a 63.5, a 2.5 inch, so that's what I'm going to use here. The templates you have in the lab may be a little different. So get something close to 2.5 inch, or 64 millimeters. And I'm not going to draw this one dark yet, because we've got some work we're going to do. So that's my front plane, and then I know the ends of this thing are 48 millimeters to the left and the right. So on my front plane, I'm going to measure out that 48, so there goes 10, 20, 30, 48. And I'm going to go to the left the same way, 10, 20, 30, 48. Now that's where my, if I were drawing orthographic, that's where my small holes and the end of the arcs would be located at. However, I need to project those back. So I'm going to draw 45-degree projection lines from the center of all of these holes. Now these on the ends here, we're 33 back for the full depth, but then the base of the part is only 14. So that leaves me with 19, right? Yeah, 19. So let's measure back 19 millimeters. And I could go ahead and put my mark at 33 also. Do this on both sides, so 19 and 33. Now I'm going to work on the right side over here first. That'll probably be the most clear for you. And then I'll draw a center line for the front and a horizontal center line for that one. Now the hole is a diameter of 14. So let's look here. What have we got? I got a 14.2, so that will work for me. And so I come back up that's my hole for that. And then the outside of the object has a radius of 17, which would be 34 of diameter. Closest I've got here is a 1 3/8, 34.9, so I'll use that. To get the end of the object. Okay, now then, that gets to the location of the hole and the edge of the round. The front of my object here, I have to come back that same distance back to get where, let me bring my textbook down here so you can see it. What I've just done is I've established the location and I drew this circle and this arc. Now I need to establish that same point back here in order to draw this arc, so I know where this line becomes tangent to that. So from the center of my large hole, I want to come back to 17. And then I want to draw that same large circle, which was 64. Okay. Oh, I need a center. I need to draw center lines for it. Sorry. That's weird. That should have been the same all the way across there. Okay, so I'll line that up, and I'm gonna I'm going to go ahead and draw a full circle because I need a tangent across those, and I'm going to go with a little bit darker pencil here. And what we'll do is we're going to line up the arcs for tangency. And do the same across the bottom here. And I can go ahead and kind of darken that one in. Where did I go? My 34. Darken it in just a little bit so you can see that. And now we'll do the same thing for the next point back for the rear plane. And I'll need the same thing here for my big circle. And yes, we can see the back of the hole, but I'm going to wait about drawing the small hole until I'm ready to, you know, like totally darken things. All right, so now I need the rear of the big circle here. Okay, and now I'll go tangent to both of the rear edges there. Coming down this way, we don't really need anything because it'll be covered by the front view coming across here, but we do need there. Okay. Now, I'll do the same thing over here on the left side, but we're going back we're going back to the right, so a lot of this stuff will be hidden. But we still need those things. So, let's see, let's get my my 34. And I'm going to go ahead and line up both of them draw my 34 arcs. And then I can line up tangents with this is the rear plane that I'm doing. And then I'll do the front plane. And I need to do this bottom of the front plane here. just where it comes in against the front surface there. Okay. All right, now this is starting to come together. So I'm going to go ahead and darken in some of these bigger. My front surface here is total circle, so I can go ahead. Well, I hate to do that. I need to do a lot of erasing first. I still need to draw my my hole, which 41.2. Let's see what our options are here. We got a 38, so I'm going to go ahead and go with a 1 3/4. If you, depending on what you got on your template, let's go somewhere close to 41.2. Okay, and so that's my front, the hole on the front surface. Now you can see, we can see the rear, and all we'll need to keep is that center mark right there for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase out a lot of this stuff on the inside here. So that I can draw these, darken in my circles as I go back. So I'll erase just enough so that I can get my larger circles done as I'm moving back. Okay, so that's got my my front plane, and if I go back to my second plane, let's take out some more of these lines. Oh, no, my hole is 14. I drew the hole the wrong size. The hole should be 14. And in the end round was 34. And so I got my tangents that came down and up, so I'm trying to match those tangent points. And then we'll do the same at the back corner. And then the hole, I can see the back of the hole. Well, I can't with this one. Okay, so can't see the back of the hole with this. Now this edge here, we get a tangent line between the two arcs. To finish out that, and I'll finish this line. Okay. And now I just working my way across with And then I'll go to the rear plane. To hit that top arc up there. Okay, now here across the bottom I need a tangent line to join those. Here, back to this arc, I need a tangent line. For that. And now I can draw my front edge over here. So that was 34. With a hole of 14. Then I'll go back to the rear plane and draw my other 34. And then do my tangents. And I've got to get the rear of the hole here. And so my hole is that side, so go back to the rear plane, center line, center mark. And that's pretty much it. I got to do some erasing and cleaning up. And then draw my center lines in. So I'm going to stop talking and start erasing and just draw my center lines. And I'm going to erase out this part because this surface here being tangent to the cylinder, there's no change in the surface plane right there. So now let me get to erasing.